Three, two, one. There
You guys ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. What's up, and welcome to another episode of Black in the Maritimes. I'm Fidel,
What's up? I'm Marcus.
Hey, I'm Clinton.
and we got a COVID episode today because fuck, damn, like,
Yeah, you guys are fucked, man. You guys are getting slammed.
what the fuck
Wild.
happened?
I don't know, man. It's crazy.
It's insane what's happening. If you guys don't know, in New Brunswick, where we all live, me and Clinton live in Moncton, and Marcus lives in St. John. In Moncton, there was no cases, and in New Brunswick, we had like 7 cases total. Now, in the last 3 days, we went from 7 cases to almost 73 cases. There was an outbreak at home. There was another outbreak in Campbellton. There's been outbreaks,
Wow.
and we have almost 73 to 75 active cases of COVID-19. We are the highest in the Maritime Province, and it's just been crazy. So I want to start with Clinton, because Clinton is suffering for this because he's a business owner, and right now things are a little bit crazy. So Clinton, how do you feel about this?
It actually caught me by surprise. Dr. Jennifer Russell was saying, like, the day before they closed, they were going to have a meeting and discuss it. And I was like, it ain't happening. They're not going back to that. They want the businesses' tax dollars. They want the money coming in. They're not going to close over this. And then the next day there was, like, I don't know, 13 cases. The next day there was 20 cases. I don't know if my numbers are right, but it was rough, man. My whole team, no one's happy about it. No one wanted to close. It's really ridiculous. There's a protest going on right now because in the industry that I'm in, which is like the salon and spa industry, we're some of the most sanitary people there are. And yeah, we can't social distance, but we spend a ton of money on sanitization products. We wipe down everything. We've always been like that, even before COVID. We keep our door locked. Everyone's been wearing a mask. We were the only industry that when we opened, everyone was required to wear a mask to begin with. It's insane that, clubs are still open. Bars are still open because they can pretend they're going to be doing social distancing when they're not at a nightclub. But our industry is closed.
So bars are open? I thought they were supposed to be closed as well.
No, dog. Bars are open. Fuck. There was a show that happened. Well, shit. My band played our CD release show last weekend. It was sick. But there was a show fucking last night in St. John and in Sussex.
Well, no, I know, but if you're in St. John, Fredericton, Sussex, you're fine. It's only in Moncton and Campbellton where the orange alert.
Yep. Restaurants and bars.
Angie's is open, B.
COVID operational plan. Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Even Angie's strip club is open.
Look, man, the funniest thing is like the comment section on Angie's being like on Facebook. It's so funny to me, man. People are just up in arms about it. And I'm just being like devil's advocate, being like, well, they don't have any, like, they can't go and claim EI, they can't go and get CERB. And then like the comment section was just like wildly and hilarious, man. It was great. It's like, so I can just get like a lap dance with a girl and the face shield, but I can't get my hair done.
I'm laughing, but I'm pissed. Yeah, it's
man, like that's crazy. That makes no sense to me. That makes zero sense to me. Fam, I can even remember getting my hair cut as a kid before I had dreads, walking into a barber shop. And then, like, before you sit down, they wipe down that whole goddamn seat. They grab the clippers. They got the clipper pieces. They take the clipper pieces off, and they're spraying it with friggin' alcohol, cleaning that shit off before they cut your hair with it. Like, if you're not gonna, the one place you're not gonna catch COVID-19 is probably in a salon or a tattoo parlor because they're just uber clean.
Yeah, 2 times, 3 or 4 times. We're 4 times as sanitary as we were even before COVID. Like, we are insane with it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that other businesses should be closed down, but if our industry has to be closed, I don't think they have a grasp on what exactly they're doing. I don't think there's people with understanding how the different industries work, and
But
not
but
saying
that
that it should be clean, but
that's it. Sorry to interrupt you, Clinton, but I have a question for you on what regarding that. Usually, these this type of businesses have associations that they're supposed to be do lobbying to inform the politicians about what you guys are doing. Is your association? Of course, I mean I'm assuming there is an association on that. Are they doing that?
Of course they are. Of course they are.
So what?
maybe the Bar Association, I don't know. The Cosmetology Association of New Brunswick gets a lot of complaints from people in this industry for being inactive, not having a real function, not doing much, not fighting for our industry's needs, just kind of going along with whatever the government says, just basically reposting what the government decides, but there's no fight. There's no fight for, proper understanding of our industry to keep it open.
Because
We even keep our door locked. Like we've been wearing masks since we reopened. We do spray everything down with like expensive things that kill all living cells. People call from their car before they come in, so there's no cross mingling. We spray down the counters, the debit machines between every client. Doorknobs, if someone uses the washroom, we clean that. We clean the floors. Everyone's wearing a mask at all times. Since I know you can't social distance in our industry, but no one's social distancing at the grocery store. People are not social distancing at bars and nightclubs and fast food places, but they can pretend that they are.
But that's one thing. I mean, that's the thing that I've been kind of analyzing lately. I mean, the reason is that I talked about the association is because I will say that politicians are like human beings and they don't know what each industry does. And in order for them to know what each industry does, there has to be somebody that tells them, hey, look, this is what we're doing. You should not shut us down because this is what's happening. Like, for example, what you're telling us what everything that's happening. And it's kind of sad to see that what you're saying, that association is not doing it because, again, if you don't fight for that business, and again, I think it's a big business in New Brunswick. I don't know why wouldn't they do it?
It's huge. So to me, first of all, good job, Fidel, on being devil's advocate. I appreciate you on doing that for this time in the podcast. Clinton, I think you should write a letter, my friend. I really think you should write a letter to Higgs and all of them, man. I feel like you can articulate what needs to be said because you know the pains of what everybody's going through in that industry. And then honestly, it pisses me off to no end because I have a lot of friends that are in this industry, man. A lot of tattoo parlors that I know, a lot of barbershop people that I know, man. Fuck, a lot of people that I know that are cutting hair and they can't. Christmas is right around the corner, B. How y'all gonna pay for your fucking bills, man? How are you gonna keep the heat on? Like, that kills me, man. That fucking kills me. But you can leave the bars open. I mean, we played a show, like my band played our CD release show on the 3rd of October and people showed up. And yeah, there was a concern about distance and we went in and set the venue up so that there were tables 6 feet apart and you had you had 2 chairs per table and that was it. But people weren't, man. At one point in time, man, I remember looking up and people were fucking moshing left, right, and center. Cool. It was cool to see because I'm looking down and it's neat to see, but in my head the whole time I was just like, fuck, I really should tell people to space out, but this is really cool. I don't know what to do. Okay, change songs. And then I was just like, no, keep playing. No, keep playing. Don't stop and break it up. Don't wreck the vibe.
But I think that's the thing. I mean, you can't expect people. I'm surprised that bars and clubs are still open, to be honest. But you can't expect people drinking and partying to social distance. However, it's the same thing. I think the difference is that somebody in that association is doing their job. It's like that. Because again, associations for me,
What do you mean? So you mean someone in the bar and the hospitality bar tourism industry is having those chats with the premier, telling them look, man, these guys are setting it up proper.
Well, that's what lobbying is. That's why you pay an association. That's why you pay a monthly fee to an association that's supposed to defend you. That's the whole point of you paying that association, to have people to do that. Like,
Well, in New Brunswick, yeah, you're right. I mean, you guys are both right. In the bar, I mean, people are not going to social distance in the bar, even if they try. Once they start drinking, it's not going to happen. They're getting loud, they're spitting. And yeah, other industries do have associations. And in New Brunswick, for hair, we actually have two associations, which we don't even need. There's a Barbers Association, and there's a Cosmetology Association of New Brunswick.
You would
So
need,
already, I
you
believe
would
that's
need
mostly tax
technical-
funded. So there's taxpayer dollars. They write different regulatory boards, different bylaws, and I'm not speaking on my own behalf because I don't associate with them much, but there's a lot of people that are constantly complaining about the fact that it's just like a group of ladies, old ladies, who don't even step foot in salons, that are outdated, that don't do anything, and just take salons' money. That's the general consensus. You can go on the Cosmetology Association of New Brunswick website back in April, or probably even now, and see people are just always complaining about them. So Fidel, that's a great point. Maybe our association needs to be doing more.
yeah.
Hold on, because we want to keep people safe. We want our staff to be safe. We want our clients to be safe. And, if things are getting out of control in New Brunswick, maybe we should be closed. But we shouldn't be closed if all these other industries are open. And that's where the big problem lies. That's what's not fair to our whole industry. Tattoo parlors, barbers, hairstylists, estheticians, the works.
But you would need two different. Wouldn't you need two different? You would need like the Barbers Association because that deals with hair, where cosmetology deals with makeup and nails and hair removal and.
No, it's just another aspect. The Cosmetology Association deals with people who go to school for hairstyling, and the Barbers Association go to school for people who go to school for hair, but cutting with the clippers. It's the same thing. There's no need for two. It's just another.
Is it like that in Ontario?
I don't believe so.
Wow.
Haircut. If you're a hairstylist that's doing color and cuts,
Yeah.
you have a different association than if you're a barbershop that's doing cuts with a clipper but can also dye men's hair.
Okay.
It's the same thing. Hair, nails. It's actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I think that's that's the thing. I don't think it's fair that there's no reason why one industry can be open and another one does not. I mean, that's definitely the common trend. And the other thing is, like, I agree. If it gets too dangerous and everything needs to close, again, it is what it is. Everything needs to close. We need to we need to go to lockdown again. Perfect. It's fair for everybody. We need to eat, so supermarkets have to be open, things like that. But if like bars and I don't know what else is open,
Bars and restaurants.
like stores, I'm assuming like shoe stores and clothing stores and things like that.
Malls are still open.
Yep.
If they are open, I don't see why those other things would not be open. So definitely, I definitely think that. And another thing, like, did you guys hear about the anti-mask rally in Moncton?
Yep.
That is insane.
Look, man, we're not trying to like rattle the feathers or anything like that, but like at the end of the day, I have old ass parents and I have a young ass nephew. Like I have a toddler that's a nephew. I have fucking old ass parents. At the end of the day, they're not like, whether or not the mask does something, I still have to wear one because I don't want to have a funeral. At the end of the day, I don't want to go to a funeral to bury my fucking parents or to bury my fucking nephew. Are you kidding me? Like that's terrible. That's terrible. That people are like, oh, it's infringing on my rights. You know what's infringing on your rights? Not being able to get a business loan because of your skin color. Having to mark on a goddamn bank application that you're black. Have to go on a dating application and mark that you're black. Like, are you kidding me, fam? Like, fuck out of here, man. I hate that dude. Hey, you know what? I wish him no ill will be. I wish this guy nothing but the best. And I hope that he sees the error of his ways. I hope that someone close to him that he knows is just like, yo, man, fucking Michelle down the road, her grandma caught fucking COVID, man. She's good, but she caught it. Oh, fuck, that shit is real. That's it. He just needs an epiphany moment.
I don't get what they're talking about. do they think it's not real? Do they think it's real but not a threat? Do they think that it's going to lead to having the chip in their hand? Do they think that they're being controlled? There's so many different dialects going on. Like, what are you guys talking about? This
I
is like, yes, there is a movement to globalize and take away all of our freedoms. That is true. That's happening. It's on some level. It's whether you look at it as a good thing or a bad thing. All the countries are going to come together. All the money's going to come together. That's happening. There's no secret. They admit it. You can hear people talking about it, like rich people. But it's not happening through masks. Masks is not the way that they're going to take all of our freedoms away for the rest of eternity. So what's the problem? They suck.
Doc, I've been waiting for this conversation since we started, since COVID-19 happened, because Marcus is a conspiracy theorist on the podcast. I have friends I have friends, like really, really close friends that are like, I'm not wearing a mask. That's ridiculous. That's just them infringing on my rights. Well, what do you mean? I'm just sitting there asking, well, you gotta elaborate. You gotta explain to me why you think that is. Well, if they tell you to wear a mask, then the next step is going to be they're going to force you to take a vaccine, and you don't know what's going to be in that vaccine. Yeah, okay. That's why we have data. That's why we have scientists that will list whatever is in said vaccine, and there's going to be research and data from other test subjects that have taken it for long periods of time before the public gets it. Oh no, man, they're gonna whip it up in Russia and they're just gonna ship it out to everybody and everyone's gonna take it. The government's gonna mandate that you can't go anywhere without having it in your system, and when you put that in your system, that's it. They're gonna be tracking you. What do you mean? You have a cell phone. They're tracking you right now with your cell phone. Trust me, you're not that important for them to track you. You're not that important. You're not Kim Kardashian making moves in the jail cell and disrupting the jail system. You're not Ghislaine Maxwell, who has an association with Jeffrey Epstein. You're not a multi-billion-dollar bank robber or a serial killer. Like, no one's looking for you, B. That's not what's happening. What's happening is there's a virus on the planet that's murking people. That's what's happening, and they don't know how to handle it because no one has seen it before. And the only people that probably could have beaten it was the group that Trump defunded when Obama set them up. Because Obama had the foresight to see this shit. That's what pisses me off, man, is that we were prepared. We were getting prepared for this shit. And now everybody's like, oh, what the fuck? They're humans. No one has seen this yet. And there's no data to tell us what to do for this.
I don't.
Like, that's what that, like, that literally even my parents in Trinidad, like, my cousin shares a lot of videos, like a lot of political videos of people talking about what's happening down there. And it's very much like their prime minister is very open with them. Like, yeah, wear your mask. And then like, there was a clip, like a montage of him addressing the country for like 2 weeks straight. And it was like a bunch of them, him saying, no, not wearing a mask. And then data came in that he could not ignore. And then it was like, yes, wear a mask. Yes, wear a mask. And the consensus has not changed since he got the data. Everybody's working off of information from other people. And you have like, this is the thing. Like, it's just like the race to the moon. That's exactly what it is. It's just like the space race.
You know what I say to that? I hope that those people that are anti-mask go to a doctor and they need to get surgery and they're not wearing a mask. Like, yeah, go get surgery or go do something with a doctor or go to the emergency room and make sure that none of them are wearing masks and see
First of all,
what you're going to think.
If you live in St. John, you should be wearing a mask anyway, not all the time, but a lot of the time. We have the Irving pulp mill pumping shit into the air. China and Japan, they've been wearing masks since long before COVID. That has been a thing over there because the air quality is such shit.
But not only that, is that what pisses me off about these people, they have no data and they are just saying crazy shit. Like, it's like, and people actually believe them and they put memes thinking that those are facts. And I'm like, dude, first of all, it's just a mask. Scientists wear masks, construction workers wear masks, biohazard people wear masks, industrial people like in the Irving pulp, they wear masks. This is a normal thing. We need one because we don't have a cure. As soon as we have a cure, maybe you don't need to wear a mask. But unfortunately, we don't
Exactly.
have one.
There's no proof that says it does or doesn't. That's the thing. You'd rather be prepared and have the contingency plan and do it just in case. It's literally like wearing a condom. Oh, well, she told me she's on birth control. Should I wear one or not? I don't know. Let me roll the dice.
Yeah,
Well,
pretty much. It's pretty much just like wearing a condom. It's like,
literally.
look, you're protecting yourself. You're trying to protect yourself. That's all it is. It's nothing. There's no mask. They're gonna like if you don't want to wear it.
And if
You're
this
an idiot.
shit don't work out, I'm protecting my next partner. If this shit don't work out.
I'm just concerned that, like, for example, and I'm a little bit concerned that we as a society, we are worrying about stupid shit like that. Because I'm assuming people in World War II, when they were bombing villages and shit, they were like, no, I'm staying here. I'm defending my rights. No, you got the fuck out because somebody was going to fucking bomb you. And
Well, yeah, 'cause that's the difference. You had tangible, physical, visual evidence, right? Like you had visuals to show that.
Yeah,
Nope.
plane coming towards you with a bomb on it. Yeah.
dude, have you seen? Like, I'll get you something. Go see a BICE report on Brazil. Try to go to a hospital in Brazil right now.
Yeah, you can.
There's none. Everything's full, and the whole system is collapsing. Like, because there's no hospital, people can't go to work. People can't go out. People can't do shit, and people don't want to be like. Everything is collapsing because we as a society understands that hospitals are important. It's not about you and your story as it's about the whole collective. And unfortunately, if we as a collective we don't work, everything collapses. Like if there's no hospitals, if you get sick, what are you going to do? You're gonna be at your house and you're gonna get infected more people, and those people cannot get treatment. So those people won't be able to go to work. Those people won't be able to do things. And because you can't go to work, things are not gonna get produced. And the cycle goes on and on and on and on and on. I just don't think that these people understand that it's not about them.
Yeah. Well, no, that's just it. Well, I said it earlier, man. It's not about me. It's literally about my old ass parents. That's straight up what it is, man. My parents are old. It's about them.
It's
Yeah.
scary, man.
And that's the shit that bothers me, man. Like, it's not like you can be anti-mask all you want, but I guarantee your parents don't like that. I guarantee his parents are at risk. I guarantee it, man. I guarantee someone in his grandmother is, or his aunt, or his uncle, cousins. I guarantee him, man. That's the crazy shit. That's the crazy shit.
It's scary, but I, even with your friend's argument that you were talking about, Marcus, so your friend, like, for example, and I hear this too, so they're not wearing a mask because in the future they're going to try to give everyone a vaccine.
Yeah.
So are they saying they're not wearing a mask because the coronavirus is not real and they're just going to try to give us a vaccine? Or are they saying they're not wearing a mask because coronavirus is real and they want to catch it?
No, so they're saying coronavirus is not real. The numbers are skewed. I should have just said this one again. The numbers are skewed. Coronavirus is not real. It's just a scare tactic to see how the government can implement these little rules here and there, and how quickly, and they'll be able to see through the masses and through social media who's accepting of it and who's not. That way, they'll be able to wean out the people that aren't listening and kill them off, and keep the ones that do listen. And then you have a submissive society that listens to you, and that's what they want. They want everybody under one government, and this is how you're going to do it, is by injecting people with RFID chips that are, the same RFID technology that's in your cell phone. And yeah.
You know what, though? You can believe coronavirus is real and killing people and you should wear a mask. And you could also believe that the government would be taking advantage of a situation like this to do social experiments and practice how much they can control it. Why can't you believe both? I don't know if the government's doing that, but it would be reasonable if they were in power and corrupt to do that, take advantage of the opportunity. But it's real, man. My daughter's in Toronto, and she has a small group of like 6 or 7 friends that she hangs out with, and 3 of them have tested positive. Today was the last day of her waiting to get her results, which means she's negative, but she just got she's been tested twice in the past 2 weeks, man. And she was in contact with one of her friends that tested positive. Now
Wow.
they're young, they're not really symptomatic at all. And you know, if this is not real, then wow, like we're all real idiots, aren't we? Everything in the world is not real if this isn't real.
First of all, this is what I'm going to say, and for all you COVID idiots. Also, Marcus doesn't have COVID; he has a cold. That's why he's coughing. Anyways,
Man, I'm smoking joints. I've had like 4 going this whole time. So I gotta
Oh,
keep
shit.
it up.
okay, so he's smoking.
I
That's
gotta,
why he's
I gotta crawl before I can walk, according to the Smokey from Friday.
fair enough. So here's what I would say to those COVID idiots. First of all, if COVID wasn't real, you think China, Russia, Iran, countries that don't like us, the countries that would bomb us the first time they could, you think they would be saying like, oh, it's an American shit? No, they have the same problems. Everybody's having the same problems. You're just not seeing it. And the other thing is like, for you world domination, stupid ass people, Google dominates you. Apple dominates you. They know what you have, what you're tracking. They already know all the shit that they need to know. So that's already happened. You're late. Like,
And they can mark you with the chip in a million more ways than losing trillions of dollars with a fake coronavirus, man. They're shutting down their economies and not getting our tax dollars.
Well, the thing that trips me out about it the most is that more than likely they drive a car. I'm pretty confident there's a chip in the car that tracks you.
yes,
We know,
there is.
we know, okay, because I don't drive, so I don't know that.
Yes, there are.
There's
Yes.
motherfucking every cell phone you have had in your pocket and in your possession since like 2000 and I think it was 2001, 2000, when the slide kicks out, the 2-way pagers. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so they all have GPS technology in it. So they've been tracking people and they've been tracking motherfuckers ever since like the early 2000s. And then they all signed it away during the Patriot Act, which is what Edward Snowden told us. So like, you can fuck off with that bullshit because it's already happened.
Look, all those conspiracy theories that are talking on YouTube and Facebook about conspiracies, I'm sorry, they got all your information already. All your Apple Watches, they already got that shit. Like, you're late for the party. It's not the government, because the government doesn't have enough money to do that. It's private companies that have it. And they're in China and they're in the United States. Like, whoever thinks like, oh, one government, one thing, they want to get us in Microsoft. Dude, that already happened. It's on your phone. Your phone controls, like, some people cannot live without their phone. Some people will literally not be able to live without their phone. That already happened.
Yeah.
So whoever has those conspiracy theories, you're late for the party. You just didn't know it yet because you're too busy dancing on TikTok and you're too busy Instagramming and you're too busy Facebooking while they have all your shit.
Look at your feed, man. Just look at your Facebook, look at your social media feed. Like, your social media feed is tailored to you because of the things that they know about you, because they have programs that learn your habits. And they've been learning your habits since before you even realized they were doing that.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you remember this in if you have a Chevy or a Chevrolet, there's something called OnStar, which you click on it and somebody comes and can guide you shit. How do you think they do that? They are tracking your movement from your car. Like again,
wasn't OnStar? Isn't that like 90s?
Yeah, it's been around since the 90s.
Yeah, fuck out of here, man.
So like,
They don't need it to be under your skin anymore. They've got you.
They already got you.
Yeah.
So for
And,
those,
I mean, they use that to make more money off you, right? It's again, you're not important. Like Marcus was
That's
saying.
what I think. That's
already
it.
control us.
Get off your high horse because you're not that important.
I just
Like,
feel
Unless you're a Fortune 500 CEO, or you're like head of an IT department for a multi-billion-dollar company, or you're working for the government, no one gives a fuck about you. Or you have records, or you're like in the crime world. No one gives a fuck about you. If you're fucking Joe Blow that works at fucking said call center, like, no one gives a shit about you. Buy your video games and shut the fuck up.
And the truth is, there's no real freedom anywhere in any society, whether it be a Western society or a village tribe in South America that's never been in contact with anyone else. There's laws, there's rules,
Yep.
there's customs, there's things you have to go by, or you can get kicked out of the society, go off in the jungle by yourself and probably die. If you want to be with a group of humans, there's never actual absolute freedoms. You have to always give up something or almost everything to be a part of the group.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying to these people. Like, we are lucky that we in the Western world didn't decide to give our information to the government. We decided to give it to private companies so they can get rich out of it. That's what we decided to do. So, and we're saying, like, those guys are saying, like, oh, the government. No. It's not the government. It's private enterprise. They got your information. It's been like that for, how long has Facebook been around?
2009, I think. 2007.
Yeah, 2009.
2005. No, man, before 2007.
Yeah,
So I graduated in 05. It wasn't a thing,
Okay.
but MySpace was a thing.
I think it was a thing. I think it was just like among like colleges, interconnected colleges and networks. It wasn't.
I really didn't, and I didn't really get onto it till like 2010,
I got on.
2010.
I got on in 2007, and I was late to the party myself. People had been on it for like a year before that, and I used to make fun of it. I thought it was, oh, it's so stupid, it was a stupid concept, blah blah blah. But it's been around for a while.
that's what I'm saying. Since Google, Facebook, Twitter are around, now TikTok, Snapchat, or whatever you want to call it, you got, your information is out there. In fact, all your shit is out there. Like,
Are you guys familiar with the TikTok debate?
Yeah.
Well, Trump and wanting to sell it, or pedophiles trying to normalize. There's a lot of TikTok debates.
So we should definitely talk about TikTok, because I love when we have our tech discussions on here.
But exactly what do you want to like?
I'm Black in the Maritimes.
As Black in the Maritimes, we should be discussing TikTok as a whole application, social media platform, a really troublesome app. Why people are trying. Well, why Trump is trying to ban it. Who were the potential buyers, and what would you guys say would be the saving grace, and why they would want to invest in it?
First of all, Trump's not trying to ban it. Trump is trying to make business out of it. Because if you really wanted to ban it, he could just ban it. He could have done that already, and he hasn't. Let's just make something clear. Like, and I will say to people that don't understand technology in the tech business,
This is why I wanted this conversation.
in China, if you go in China, there's no Facebook, there's no Google, there's no Spotify, there's none of that. China officially banned all of those apps. Like, it is fair game for the United States to ban TikTok or Canada or London. However, the difference is that we are in a quote unquote free country. So you cannot ban an app because you're saying, well, that's not equal. You're not being equality. Like, that's and it's part of the amendment rights in the United States. So you can't do that because it's part of the Constitution. So technically, Donald Trump could have banned TikTok. TikTok is banned in India, and it's banned I think it's in Pakistan. They banned it too. So you are able to ban that app. There's no reason why he cannot ban it. However, he's finding a way to get gains from it. And he's not trying to ban it, and I don't think it's going to get banned in the first place, because, to be honest with you, TikTok, in order for them to scale, China needs an app that is actually scalable, and the only app that's scalable right now is TikTok. So they kind of need that to scale like their next Facebook. But it's fair. It's a fair argument with TikTok, because unfortunately it's a Chinese company, and the law in China is that every Chinese company needs to be at the disposal of the Chinese government. Which
So
is
what does scaling now? What does scaling mean?
Scaling means is like, when, in order for a country to get some type of influence and power, they need products that scale. That's why Japan has companies like Sony, Nintendo, Mitsubishi, Nissan. These are companies that are globalized. Korea has things like Samsung, Kia, Hyundai, that these are companies that are globalized. They're called conglomerates. In the States, there's the United States has the most scalable companies in the world: Google, Facebook, Amazon. You can call Twitter and Microsoft. There's a bunch of companies that are scalable that the whole world uses. So that gives them influence. China doesn't have that. China has things they make they're manufacturing, but they don't have brands that you use all everywhere. The only thing that you can compare is Huawei, which is kind of growing, and TikTok. Those are the two brands that are actually scaling worldwide. But the controversy is that those brands have use and they're at the disposal of the Chinese government because that's the Chinese law.
So people don't want China to have their information, but they're okay with America having their information.
Pretty much, exactly. That they're okay with America because America is supposed to be the land of the free and democracy and blah 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 blah. That's the difference. The difference is that China is not a democratic country, and they are not. That is the truth. But quote unquote, the United States is, and that's why people feel more comfortable with countries like the United States or England having their information than China or like an Iran or like a Russia.
Okay.
People don't care though that China has their data either. People don't care.
People don't
the
care.
Government that cares.
No one gives a shit.
And the government just doesn't want China to have the same data they already have.
Yeah.
But people don't care. People don't
Because
care.
at the end of the day, that's what's so valuable, right? Is our data, our information, what our likes and dislikes, so that you can tailor a product right to us, right? Like that information is perfect.
But that's why, like I said, yeah, you're right, Clinton. People don't care, but governments care, and influence it's matter. Like you don't want, as a country, when you have influence, you have power, and you have certain limits. So the United States does not want that. They don't want their power to be influenced by a country that might not care about them. China doesn't care about them. They're able to do deals, but China could, if China overpasses the US, which is already have done, and Donald Trump has been very good at letting them do that, you know, they will lose certain privileges that they have right now. That's really much what it comes to.
That's wicked. That makes sense.
Yeah.
We should. We have. Speaking
What?
of Donald Trump, when we're going to talk about.
Oh God.
Talk about his
Let me tell you about the video that I seen of this man standing at the White House, breathing in pain, just like. But then playing it off like he didn't catch nothing.
Did he catch something? I mean, is he one of the lucky people who recovered quick? Is this all a scam? This is crazy that he says he caught it. He's saying he's immune, taking all these government-funded drugs at a government-funded hospital, but trying to make cuts. Guys, there's so much with this whole Donald Trump catching COVID thing right before the election.
Fam, we really watched this man fake catch corona, say that he beat it, and he's going to get the sympathy vote because he was sick.
All I'm going to say is this about Donald Trump. If Donald Trump wins, we are seeing the end of an empire. America is going to crumble if he wins 4 more years. There's no reason why this man should be in power.
I seen the opposite. If Donald Trump is not elected, I saw that there's going to be a race war, that all the racists are just going to lose their mind. All the Trump supporters are going to lose their minds and go out and storm the White House.
No, that's not going to happen, because the problem is like people don't understand about something about Western culture, which is our culture. We don't give a fuck as long as we're doing good. We don't. We really don't give a fuck as long as we're having our TikTok, our steak, our booze, all our shit. As long as we're good, we don't give a fuck. Why do you think racism has been this long? Because people did not give a fuck, because they were making money, they were doing well. So as long as the United States is not doing bad, they will be fine. Nobody's going to revolt. Now, they're not doing fine. That's the problem. The problem is right now there's a depression, since there hasn't been a depression in almost 87 years, almost 100 years without a depression, and
Yeah.
they just got a depression. Like, the economy is as worse as it's ever been. It's worse than it hasn't been this bad since World War II. So this is a very, very bad time for them, and unfortunately, it's because of bad leadership. That's really and again, you got the executive producer of The Apprentice.
I love that. I love that. I fucking love it. I love that shit. I love that shit, man. I love that shit, man. When people fucking, man, I love when people reference that shit. This nigga really was on TV for a long ass time. A long ass time.
He's the leader of one of the most powerful country in the world. That's like you Pee Wee Herman as a defense secretary. Like, yo, that shit don't make sense. It's the truth. Like, he gets infected with COVID-19. He infects a bunch of people. You know this guy is careless. He does not give a fuck about anybody. So if America decides to vote him once again, which is very, very possible and is very, very likely, I think people are sleeping. I don't believe what the polls are saying because his base does not give a fuck, and they will vote. This
Polls are super damaging. Oh, go ahead.
No, that's what I'm saying. Unless the American people go out there and vote and really make sure that this shit doesn't happen, this thing that they call the United States of America is going to crumble, and it's crumbling right now. Like, it's not a joke, and I don't know what people.
Which could have been why Putin helped get him into power. I mean, this is his long-term chess game, right? Crumble America. That's what he's wanted for so long, and he gets his buddy Trump elected. Probably going to get it again. I can't imagine what life would be like if he wins one more time. I mean, I think the polls are really damaging because this confidence that Joe Biden is so far ahead will make people who would have voted for Joe Biden feel like it's less important. They're not going to feel it's as urgent and as necessary to get out there and vote because they're going to be thinking that someone else is going to do it for them.
But remember, here's the thing that people don't understand, that the polls do not mean the constituents, because polls mean popular vote. Most likely Joe Biden will win the popular vote. More people would vote for Biden than Donald Trump. I believe that. I don't think that's gonna be. That's not that is real. However, that is not
by electoral college.
Well, that's how you win a president. You win it by winning electoral colleges. That's not by popular. In a landslide, Joe Biden would beat them. It would be Donald Trump in a popular vote. But that's not how you get elected. Okay. That's the problem.
Okay, let me ask you a question because I think you'll probably know the answer. Can you win the popular vote by so much that they have to make you there's got to be a point where it doesn't matter what the electoral vote is.
No, I don't think
you can get 100% of the vote, and if the electoral were corrupt enough, and I'm sure they'd get called out for yada yada, they could choose to still vote to make someone else president. In theory, theoretically,
Clinton won the popular vote by like a landslide, man.
A few million votes. A landslide, was it?
That's a few million.
Maybe, out of 330, I don't know how many people voted, but
I think Obama won. I think Obama won both. I'm pretty sure Obama won both.
Well,
Is there a number for that?
No. Hillary Clinton won the popular vote for around 3.5 million votes.
Okay.
And that was out of 130 million people that voted. But again, that's not how you get elected. Like, for example, it's the same in our country. You might like Trudeau or Erin O'Toole or somebody, but if the MPs don't get elected, you don't win the majority. That's really much it. It's not a popularity thing. It's how many MPs you have, and that's the same in the United States. It's electoral colleges. Whoever gets the electoral colleges is the guy that's going to win.
Yeah.
Erin O'Toole, so he had COVID too, but he's doing okay. He didn't. No one's saying that he was faking it. No one is. I guess a lot of people who get it, they do okay, and I guess the hospitals are getting better at treating people with it.
But again, Erin O'Toole is not the Prime Minister of Canada. That's the difference. Like,
Yeah.
The president of the United States of America, not only did he get COVID, he got it, didn't say shit, and infected everybody
Everybody.
around him.
Yep.
Wait, well, he wasn't patient. Was he patient zero?
Yep.
He did an outbreak in the White House.
Yep.
It was
And
his fault.
I think it was the defense secretary or something like that was like, man, I haven't been in the the White House since this shit started.
And you'd think that would be enough to get people mad. Trump can do anything and get away with it. You got to give him that. Like, he has been able to get away with anything to the point where people don't even talk about atrocious shit from 4 years ago that he did. It's just the most recent thing that's ever on anyone's mind.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, the fact that's like the fact that Donald Trump is able to get away with murder, and there's people that will follow him around it. It's just insane, and I get it. These are people that have been left behind for so long, and they think they have a leader, which they really don't. They're being lied to, but that's their leader. That's the people. That's the guy that talks to them. And these are racist ass people that they say, well, we've been out and we've been hiding for so long, and we are now like getting with Trump. Like he believes in us. Like fuck. Like guys, remember the Proud Boys wasn't a thing in 2010 or 2015. The Proud Boys weren't a thing. The KKK was forgotten for decades, and now they're forefront and center.
Yep.
Like that's the reality, and these guys don't care. They don't care if Trump does anything because this is his guy. These people guy, and these people will vote. That's the problem. These guys will go and vote,
And they'll prevent others from voting, which is
Yeah.
what Democrats don't do.
Yep.
Like they're not like Democrats have. They honestly like it's too bad because they, as much as they're right about the way things should be run, there's no backbone. You know, Republicans and people that support Republicans, they'll show up with the machine guns. They'll be angry. They're hateful. They'll literally intimidate people into not being allowed to go into a voter station. And Democrats will whine about it.
Even Republicans. That's the thing. Donald Trump is not like Donald Trump's followers are not Republican. They're anarchists, and that's
No,
the thing.
yeah, but you know what I mean. Like people
Yeah.
that support that side. Yeah.
But I think that's the difference. That's the difference between in Canada and United States is that, for example, we can be conservative and liberal and NDP, and all different shapes and races can be in different. Like you could be black and conservative, you could be black and liberal, you could be black and NDP, and we can.
I'm black and NDP, man, and I know some black conservatives, and I know some black liberals, and I know some white conservatives, and I know some white NDPs, man. Shit.
Exactly. And we can both agree that, hey, this shit is bad. Racism is bad. Anarchism is bad. Like, we can all agree on the same shit. We don't agree on everything, but we can agree on the basic shit.
Yeah.
In the United States, they cannot even agree on that. Like, it's insane. And that's what Donald Trump brings to the divisiveness of that country. So, anyways.
Well, wait. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was gonna say like I pretty much don't want to. Donald Trump for me, I just want this election to be over because this is gonna
He's
be.
getting in. He's getting in again. We gotta y'all gotta accept that shit. This nigga is winning.
Well, if he does, it's the end of America. But again,
This nigga is winning, B. And you know how he's gonna win, man. It's because that belt, man. That his base will go out and make it an event. They'll grab fucking 30, 40 people at the office. Their office will shut down for the day, and niggas will go out and drove a carpool to go vote for Trump.
man, they will do pretty much anything. But that's what I'm saying.
And Clinton's right too, man. They will like in the South and in that Bible Belt, fam. They're gonna be heavy there with fucking weapons, man. Heavy there. There are like every Black Lives Matter protest in the South. That's what they're being met with. Proud Boys and guns.
Well, but that's the thing. In the States, anybody can have guns. So I mean, yeah, they have guns, but other people have guns too, right? So it's not really. I don't know, man. I just want this election to be over, and we as Canada, we just have to pray for the best.
I can't wait, man. I can't wait. Like it's one of the few times I watch the election. Like I watch our election, like the whole night. I watch our like prime minister election. I didn't watch the fucking this one for Higgs. I didn't watch that because I voted in disappointment. I went in and I struck my NDP candidate, and I fucking knew as I struck it, I was like, this nigga ain't even getting a seat. Whatever.
I think he got your vote and like 7 votes more.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, man. Like I'm very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. I'm real disappointed about it, man, because they have like one of the soundest fucking plans, man. Tax the rich. They just want to tax the rich, and then they want to fucking give. Listen, man. It's crazy to me that people aren't like, who's doing mandatory minimum wage? Who's increasing that? Which one's increasing that? Because that's money in my pocket at the end of the day, and no one's basing their vote off that, and that's what's fucking crazy to me. How
Marcus,
are you?
man, that could be your next flex, man.
Man, how are you not basing it off of your bottom dollar at the end of the day? What, like, that is all I care about is what are you doing with the minimum wage and what are you doing with fucking, like, someone needs to come into this fucking province and be like, look, we need to raise the minimum wage and we need to lower the cost of living because this shit is ridiculous. $900 for fucking 2-bedroom. And we got like 75% of the parents struggling to find apartments. You got fucking a good 90% of the singles not even being able to afford an apartment because they have one income. Like, this shit is ridiculous, man. Like, you got to pick between groceries or fucking rent. Groceries or heat or internet. Like, this shit is crazy down here, man. It's crazy out here. It's crazy in New Brunswick, period. If you're single and have one income and you're a parent, poof, it's hard. I have too many friends that are struggling, man. Too many friends that are struggling. And I'm lucky. I'm one of the lucky ones that got a decent job that I can like budget my 2 pays a month. I can budget that and I'm good. But like, I could tell you right now, living in Moncton, that wasn't the case. Only when I was working with Fidel was that the case. I was able to like live on my own and like not be broke. And even then I was still broke.
Yeah, I mean it's hard out there, but I mean, I will definitely say let's wait till
Like,
the shit show of the United States is over, and we'll see how it goes in our neck of the
yeah,
woods.
it is going to be wild. I'm going to see if I can fucking make it up to Moncton for the election night, just so that like we can live stream and just chat about it.
I'll be honest, you guys can do that. I ain't watching that shit. I'm gonna.
You gotta watch it, man. You got, man, to have Fidel get angry in real time.
I ain't watching that
I
shit.
I want that, man, so bad. Watch that shit go down in real time and just watch his face just I can see it.
It's gonna be so disappointing when we see like we're really like, oh shit, I can't believe this shit is happening. But anyways, all right, so we're gonna switch to the last subject, which is another bullshit. In Ottawa, a young man called Anthony Us, 23 years old, fell off 12 feet in a building. Yeah, of a SWAT team that they enter on a no-knock warrant. I mean, this is just ridiculous that the police can do that. And I mean, this kid was 23 years old, had nothing to do with this shit, and he's dead.
So, from what I gather from reading the article, and then I like watched a few videos on it, and then read a couple more articles from a few other sources, they like rushed into the apartment. He was sleeping on the top bunk. No, sorry, he was outside having a cigarette and a coffee.
No, that was the stepdad. The stepdad was having a cigarette.
Okay. He was sleeping on the top bunk. So from what I gather is they stormed into the room. He was like, whoa, shook and awake, and like rolled out the window, dead. First of all, I like to see the window. I like to see the room, because I guarantee you a 23-year-old man is not getting rolled at the side, off his side out a window like that. There's no window that's big enough in an apartment building to do that outside of being like a bay window in the living room, but not in a bedroom. Not in a bedroom. Like there's no way your body can fit through that sideways.
I'll be honest with you. I just don't understand how the police is able to do a no-knock warrant and have no care for the people that are in it and anything that's like, this is what I don't understand. In a war, we have soldiers that are supposed to protect us from the enemy in that case. And unfortunately, in wars, people get hurt, people get in the crossfire, and people die. Innocent people die. And that's the consequences of a war. The police is supposed to serve and protect. They're not supposed to be at war with their citizens, and anybody that gets in the line of crossfire died. That's not the police job. That is not what they're for. Like, and the fact that this kid was in the crossfire, it's hurting. Like, this kid had nothing to do with this, and he's dead. And it's like another black man dead by the police for no reason. Like, there was no reason why they couldn't arrest whoever they were looking for. Why is there such things as no knock warrants? Like, how dangerous are you in a country that it's really, really hard to get guns? Like, how much of a danger are we talking about that you need to storm out of somebody? Like, what are you afraid of? That you guys will get killed? Like, I'm not getting it.
So you have to think, man, do you watch a lot of cop shows?
Most of those cops, again, United States, not in Canada.
I'm trying to make a point here.
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I watched some, but not all. Go ahead.
Right. So the cop shows that you and I have watched, chances are the police officers that are in the line of duty now all grew up watching the same shit we did. So they have that embedded in their subconscious that's the situation, that they're gonna kick in a door and it's gonna be fucking Scarface, GTA 5, all over, like all of they're gonna kick in a door. If they knock on the door and say, RCMP, we're coming in. RCMP, we're coming in. Before they finish saying RCMP, fucking Officer Johnson, Officer Smith, and Officer Coolio over here are all going to get blown away by the shotguns that the drug dealers have in the back of the house. That's what it is at the end of the day. It's the fear that they have. First of all, it's not having trust in your training. First of all, because I can tell you right now, my guitar training, I have trust in my bandmates and our practice and our training that we do together. I have trust in them to do their parts, no problem. That's why you have the Marines that are probably one of the best well-oiled machines, and their units, like their squadrons, are tight. They work well together because they understand that the link in the chain is only strong as the other link. Each member is important. Just like in the industry, the only time you have someone successful is a team around them that you don't know about. Yeah, and I wholeheartedly believe that the police training for the RCMP, it's not a building of confidence with your skill and a confidence in your team. It's here's your course, here you go. Good luck. You're now in the war on drugs that we've been fighting for the last fucking 100 years.
Here's the other thing about, like, lives mattering and Black lives not seeming to matter in this case, is that a judge had to authorize this, knowing that the person was at his home under house arrest with family, a father, I think a grandma, brothers, and the judge still signed it and said that it was okay to smash the door in and run in like that.
Because he probably had
it's not like a no-knock warrant for like a known trap house where they're literally living in some slum house just selling drugs and there's crackheads coming and going all day. Like, this is a 12th floor apartment, 12 stories up. A family. And their excuse was, they have to break down the door so that the person doesn't have time to, like, flush the cocaine or whatever. Like, whatever the drug dealer's trying to hide. In a case, and they do hundreds of these a year apparently, but in a case like this, how could the judge, knowing that this 23-year-old is at home with his brothers, I think if I'm wrong, but it's family, I think a grandma, I think a father. Well, it's okay for a SWAT team to rush in there to hopefully find some drugs.
Well, he
apparently was violating his probation because I think he was on the balcony at the time, but I don't know.
But he's violated his probation. He's a criminal. He had rules that he had to follow to be out. He didn't follow the rules, and that's why that's why the judge would have signed off on that shit. It was because the judge would have been like, oh well, he's a criminal. It doesn't matter who else is associated within that circle. They should know better than to associate with a criminal.
No, see, that's the. I mean, I think you're being like redundant, right? Like you're saying, like that's ridiculous, but
It's not.
yeah, like, but Fidel's saying like these are police officers. They're supposed to protect the civilians, and if they know there's civilians in there, how could a judge say it's okay to just smash down the door and rush in?
Because they're going after a criminal on the war. They're going after a member of the war on a soldier in the war on drugs that they need to show. They need to show numbers for.
But hold up, like here, go ahead, Clinton. Sorry.
No, go ahead. You go ahead. Go on.
But here's the problem with that, Marcus. I think the problem with the war on drugs or whatever it is. Okay, we are not talking about life or death situations here. We're not talking about that somebody's going to shoot you back and have like AK-4. We're talking about that there's people living here that are from the people that you're supposed to protect. We're not talking about people that are like saying like, oh, let's say for the fun, let's say that the house was full of drugs. Let's just say that the house. No. Let's just say that the house was full of drugs, but it was full of cocaine. As much as that is, your job is not to kill people. Your job is to confiscate those drugs and arrest people that are in that subdivision. Is not to kill anybody. That's what I'm saying. You're only supposed to kill when you feel threatened, when you feel like there might be some danger that they will go. Again, a firefighter, a paramedic, a cop, they are supposed to serve us. We pay for that to serve us. Even if there's a bunch of drugs, let's say that they were cooking cocaine.
This nigga's house was looking like New Jack City.
Exactly.
Looking like the Carter.
Yeah. Let's say that's looking like New Jack City. The job is not to knock around and try to kill people. The job is just for you to get the thing that you want not to be on the street, and the people that are doing it, you should get them arrested. That's all you're supposed to do. How does it come that a 22-year-old kid gets in the line, or like the same thing with Breonna Taylor, which we saw? This woman gets in the line of crossfire and gets shot. And you're like, wait a minute. For like, you're in a home. Like, how dangerous can a home be? Like that's the thing.
I think it's odd that the world that we live in has more punishers as cops than Jim Gordons as cops. That's the crazy thing. That's the crazy thing to me. We live in an era where you grew up, like these cops grew up with Batman, and like these cops were kids at one point and know like Batman doesn't kill. Why doesn't Batman kill? Because that's not justice. Justice is jail, trial, the justice system. Superman as well. Like it's crazy to me that we live in a generation that cops literally grew up with this shit, and we have more villains and more anti-hero, more villains than we do actual heroes, which is crazy to me.
And the other thing is like I said, I think people don't understand the race. I don't think this would have happened if it would have been on a white family.
No.
It just wouldn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. The judge, how could the judge sign that kind of a warrant? Like, would that happen in a rich neighborhood? If there was a kid on house arrest, some rich guy's son goes crazy, gets arrested on drug charges, he's on house arrest, the cops think he's violating his probation. They're going to bust in on the 60-year-old white grandma, white dad, and Jimmy and Jenny. Like, no way the judge is signing off on that. To the judge, those black lives didn't matter. Like, the hashtag is so real. Like, it's showing, like, just like last week too. Like, it was a situation where they were showing that those lives in particular didn't matter to these people in power at that time.
I've been saying it, man. We are literally living in a time where we are actively seeing our brothers and sisters being systematically murdered and killed in front of us, and the world itself is compliant with it. They're once again being compliant with the I'm going to say it, the genocide of an entire race.
I don't know that they're intentionally trying to kill, and they may be, because we've talked about that before. But it's that they don't care if they end up killing them.
And there's no repercussions, man. That's the crazy thing. There's no
very
repercussions.
disposable.
This nigga fucking Robert, whatever the fuck his name is, that killed George Floyd, got out on was it $100 million bond?
$1 million bond. Derek Chauvin got it.
You know that was like Ben Shapiro or like the Proud Boys funding that. I want to know who paid that $1 million bond. That's what I want to know.
Yep.
Are we like privy to that information?
I think you can find it. I'm not quite sure what the velocity that says, but yeah, but that's the thing. Like, that's one thing that you have to understand. Like, if it was a black man that would have gotten bond, he wouldn't have gotten it. Like, that's the thing. I mean, the thing about it is that it's like you don't just run into a person's house, even if it's full of drugs. Let's say if it's full of drugs, you don't run into a person's house and just destroy and you don't care what's happening. That's what I'm saying. Like, you cannot, like, the police cannot be in a state that they are able to just do whatever they want and then not get any consequences, especially with black people and indigenous people and anybody that's not white.
Yep.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like, you can't just have like, oh, let me just go and like raid this house and whoever's there, and if they're dead, they're dead. I mean, like, this kid got in a crossfire, and it's like it can't be this way. I mean, it only happens to black and brown people. It doesn't happen. I haven't seen a white family saying like the police came, raided us, and shot people, and like they killed us, and nothing was like this only happens to black people and brown people. And and they get killed, and there's no remorse, there's no consequences. These cops are nothing's gonna happen to these cops. Nothing. And it's like, how are we supposed to be like, if you're black and brown, how are you supposed to say, oh, the system is fair? It's not. Because if you're white, you can get arrested, but if you're black, you can get killed.
Yep.
Like that's insane. And again, we're talking about this because it's just another example in Canada. We're not even talking about the States, of how indigenous, black people, brown people, immigrants get mistreated. They get killed. Innocent people get killed, and zero consequences happen.
Yep.
Which is it's just something that boggles the mind. But anyways, we're gonna end it up in this sour note because I mean we can't talk about it anymore. So please follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Black in the Maritimes. Please rate us. I will say this: please rate us in your favorite podcast application. That really helps the show for people to discover it. So if you like us, please leave a comment on any of your podcast platforms. Rate us. That will be, leave a review. That will be amazing. And you guys have anything else to say?
Yeah. Sonic Detour is everywhere on every platform. Give us a follow, like a song, like the pages. We're everywhere. Like, literally, we're everywhere. Like, you can't not find us anymore. It's great to have the music out to people, and people have been real receptive of it. I think it's crazy that we like hit our goal still. I'm still blown by that. And I'm still blown that I can type in, like, I can steadily see like numbers going up for just on the Instagram and on the Facebook. Like, I love seeing growth, and I like seeing that like people are reading responsive to us. I love it. I think it's cool. I wish people would like comment more. That'd be cool. Cause I'm going to start responding to people like right on my personal IG or Facebook. Like, I'm going to start responding to people, cause that's like way easier. That's way more fun.
Yeah, everyone out there, thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting, listening to the show. Go back and listen to past episodes. Share our photos and our videos, like our posts and comments, share, tag a friend, stuff like that. New Brunswick, stay safe. I mean, this is real. Like this
Yo.
COVID spreads fast. We want to get back open, get back to business, get back to the yellow status we were all enjoying. But the report said that only 16% in New Brunswick were wearing masks. So that kind of understand it. It sucks, but yep. Thanks for listening, all your support. We'll see you next week.
All right, peace.
Peace out.